When we come to Baba's knowledge, we receive a very special gift from the very first day we come to Baba. You may call that gift as your birthday gift. And I'm sure all of us have received that birthday gift. It is up to each one of us how we use it and take the benefit out of it. And that gift is in the form of divine intellect. We had an intellect before, but when we come to Baba, when we understand and realize that we are souls, when the intellect understands, the intellect becomes spiritualized, divinized, and so it becomes divine, and so we begin to see things in a different way. The power to discern becomes more precise. We understand the difference between right and wrong, good and bad, truth and false. So on the basis of that knowledge, on the basis of that understanding, we begin to bring change in our lives. You must have noticed in your own life, when you came to Baba, the first thing that has happened is some changes externally and to some extent internally also. We begin to change our lifestyle. We begin to perform good actions. Our habits of waking up late, our habits of going into wrong company changes. We begin to lead more sober life. So change happens because I understand something that was missing in my life before. Change also happens on the basis of the good company I receive. Because some of us may have come to Baba when we were small children. We did not understand any knowledge at all. But we just came along with our parents. We were just colored by the company, and we also did what they were doing without knowing. And sometimes change also has come in our life because we are exposed to good atmosphere. Some of us are very lucky that we are brought up by parents in such an atmosphere where there was no impurity, and so that atmosphere has brought that change in me. So some of us have brought change in our life because we have understood something and realized. Some of us have brought change because of the company, good company we had, and some because of the good atmosphere. So whatever may be the reason, the change that we bring is very external. It is very shallow. And that is why you find that change can be reversible. Like, for example, if you see within a year, there are 4 seasons, and after the year, the same seasons can repeat. But we have not adopted this Brahmin life just for the sake of bringing change. We can change our dress, we can change our food habits, we can change some bad habits, quit smoking, quit drinking, stop eating non-vegetarian food. All these things are very external. We do bring that change, and that is necessary to some extent, but that is not everything. Because when you stop being in the company of such souls, the habit goes back to what it was before. When I am moved away from that atmosphere, so then I am pulled towards the bad habits once again. So what is necessary? The first step, the first stage of transformation is definitely change. Change is necessary, but change leads to the second stage, what is called transformation. So transformation is internal, and transformation is not reversible. You cannot reverse the transformation. Once it is transformed, that is it. For example, when you put something into the fire, the form of that object, the color, the texture, everything get transformed. You cannot get back the same thing what you put into the fire. It's totally transformed. So transformation is deeper than the change. So in order to bring that kind of transformation, I need dual power, double energy. I cannot do it on my own. I need the energy of self-realization, soul energy. I need the energy of God realization. I need to know Baba as he is, what he is, and who he is. I need to accept, understand myself as I am, what I am, and who I am. When that realization of the self becomes deeper, then my connection with Baba becomes stronger. Because we not only have to transform our habits, we have to transform our sanskaras. Today Baba said in the blessings, complete transformation is when the deep-rooted sanskara that each one of us have within ourselves is totally transformed, which means the name and trace of that sanskara doesn't exist anymore. And that is why when people come in our contact, they will not have a comment saying, you are the same as before. Because they can see that deep-rooted sanskara doesn't exist anymore. So in order to, first of all, I need to understand how a habit is formed and how a sanskara is formed. And of course, we know a habit is formed by repeated action. When you repeat any action, whether good action or bad action, it becomes a habit. But when you repeat a habit, it becomes a sanskara. So habit is something that we have formed in this birth. So it is easy to erase the habit. That is what is called change. When you have changed your habit, you have erased the bad habit, replaced it into good habit. But until you transform the sanskara, you cannot keep that good habit consistently, because that sanskara influences all the time. And as we know that we are the souls who have come in the cycle of 84 births, and we have this old sanskara, acquired sanskara of 63 births. Certain sanskaras are so deep, we carry birth after birth. It's very strong, very deep. So in order to transform that, I need to have power of yoga. My yoga has to be very powerful, and in that fire of yoga, the seed of that sanskara has to be burnt. So this is why it is important for us to realize the difference between the eternal sanskara, the original sanskara, and the acquired sanskara. So what we need to transform is the acquired sanskara, which we call it as the alien, which does not belong to me. So we have to do some homework for this kind of transformation. I need to sit with myself. I need to look at myself. What are those sanskaras I consider as alien? Why alien? Because it does not give me comfort. It does not make me happy. It does not give me the feeling of lightness. So I need to just identify them, and out of those alien, there will be always one particular outstanding, very strong sanskara, which becomes an obstacle throughout my life. Whether it is worldly life or godly life, it had been an obstacle in my relationship, in my service, in my effort, laukik, alaukik life. So I need to really trace that sanskara of mine first. Then the second step is to create an attitude of disinterest, to remove that from deep within. Because I have to do that job with myself, creating an attitude of unlimited disinterest. Because without having disinterest, you cannot renounce that sanskara. And we can create that disinterest in our heart by bringing the experiences that we have had, by using that sanskara in our relationship, in our interaction. If not, we can even use the experience of other people's life, what they have experienced, by allowing that sanskara to come into action. So when I ponder over that, I definitely create a feeling of disinterest. I don't want to have it. That is what is the realization. I need to really see me with that real eye, the third eye, the eye of knowledge, comparing to my original sanskara of a deity, comparing to my eternal sanskara, the godly sanskara. This is not mine. I don't want it. This is alien. This is like a thorn. So once I am able to realize that, so that realization comes when I am totally stabilized in soul consciousness and accurately linked in yoga with Baba. In meditation, we have 4 stages: initiation, meditation, concentration, and realization. So realization stage is also described sometimes as the seed stage, incorporeal stage, or bindu stage. So when I am in that powerful stage of yoga, I can see myself, what is not mine. So I am able to let go in front of Baba. This is what Baba said in one of the Murli many years ago. My realization brings forgiveness from God. So forgiveness from God combined with that realization erases, burns the seed of that sanskara. That is when I can say, I have transformed. As I was mentioning, transformation cannot be reversible. Change can be reversible. So that means once I have burnt or realized that sanskara, it is transformed, means it does not exist. What happens in Brahmin life many times, instead of transforming, we either suppress or we have denial, right? Either we don't deal with it or we deny we don't have it. But actually, for a short time, by suppressing, you may not see that sanskara existing. It is there, but it is like under the carpet. So I feel happy. Oh, I have changed now. But then after so many years, 20 years, 30 years, that pops up all of a sudden like a popcorn, you know. And you are surprised. How come? I thought it had gone. But actually what happened was I had used the power of knowledge to trim the branches of that sanskara, but not the seed. You know, when you trim the tree, for a while it looks like it's gone. But the root is still there. So after some time, it will grow even bigger. So actually, the second stage of transformation is very important, where I realize what I need to transform, and I do that work on myself. That is why I think they have said in the path of ignorance, God help to those who help themselves. Because then I have that urge, Baba, now I want to transform it. I know this is what is creating that obstacles in my progress. Then only you can reach to the third stage, which is absolute and total transformation. That is called metamorphosis. The third stage of transformation is the metamorphosis. I don't know how many of you understand the meaning of this word. Let me explain what is metamorphosis with a simple example. Have you all seen a caterpillar? Yes? It's like a small creature crawling on the earth, very ugly, with many legs, eating all the leaves and things. But the caterpillar, as it moves and it continues to grow, after a while, it begins to create a cocoon with its own saliva, with around itself. And it hides within that cocoon and disappears. Disappears for some time. And in that time, the nature does the work on it. It allows the nature, it surrenders itself to the nature. And one day, you will see, instead of that ugly creature, a beautiful butterfly emerging out of that cocoon. And that is exactly what Baba wants us now. So, first is change, second is transformation through realization, and thirdly, total surrender. I look at this stage, metamorphosis, as going into the womb of God. Just like a child, when it is in the womb of the mother, the child doesn't do anything. It just surrenders itself to the mother, and mother becomes responsible to allow the child to grow in the womb before it comes out as a living being. So what I need to do after realization, I need to totally surrender myself to Baba and enter into God's womb, so that I am sustained by God's relationships. I am sustained by non-physical food. So this is what is lacking in our practice, that is not allowing ourselves to emerge as an angel from a human being. No matter many times we do exercises and we tell people, oh, you are Brahmin and you become an angel and a deity, visualize yourself as an angel in the body of light and then a decorated image of a deity. We try to do it, but it doesn't last long. Why? Because we are still out of the womb. We are not in the womb of God, so that we have to allow God to do His work. This is the biggest problem. We are not allowing Him to do His work on us. We are interfering all the time, either by getting influenced by other people's sanskaras, or by getting influenced by my own sanskaras. And so we are not allowing God to take the full responsibility to make us the way He wants us to be. So I feel it is just like a caterpillar. After creating the cocoon, it totally surrenders itself to the nature. So this is what I need to do. Totally surrender myself to God and remain in that silence. Because you need that power of silence for total, absolute, complete change, transformation. In that silence, actually it is silent, but in that silence you are being sustained by God's non-physical food, love, truth, happiness, bliss. And that is what the soul needs. You know why Dadi has been telling us that you need to make time in between to go into that silence. Dadi was sharing the other day, in the beginning, she used to sit every hour 5 minutes in silence to allow, that experience to accumulate. So we need to do that work on ourselves. In that silent experience, I am allowing God to work on me. And what the soul needs is the sustenance, the taste of all relationships, non-physical relationship. So that when I am filled with that, one day I will emerge as an angel with the body of light, with the wings of light. And that is why when people look at angels, angels are always recognized as messengers of God, sons of God. They are called as intersection between human and God, because they are created by God Himself. So I need to first of all identify the second stage of transformation, clearly discern what is acquired sanskara, what is eternal sanskara, what is my original sanskara. Baba was saying in this season's Murli also, the shortcut to transform is to emerge, if not anything else, emerge your original eternal sanskara. Then the acquired sanskara will merge automatically. Because when something is merged over a long period of time, it will disappear. So there are two ways to transform our deep-rooted sanskaras. One is to recognize the alien and create disinterest for it, and on the basis of that disinterest, renounce it for good. The second method, shortcut method, is to emerge my eternal godly sanskara, emerge my original deity sanskara, so the acquired sanskaras are automatically merged. Remember, there is a difference between merging and suppressing. I am talking about merging and not suppressing. Because when you suppress, you do it with force. But when you merge, you do it with understanding. You understood that that's not mine. It's not necessary. It's alien. So you merge it, it automatically gets merged when I emerge my eternal and original sanskara. So what is that original sanskara? As we say, all virtuous, completely viceless, 16 celestial degrees complete, and godly sanskaras, master almighty authority, master ocean of love, master ocean of happiness. It's all God's inheritance that I have received in this godly life. So if I can merge, emerging means using it in my action, in practical. That is called emerging, not just emerging in the sense intellectually thinking about it, but to become the form. That is what Avyakt Babdada mentioned, that we do not become the form. We bring transformation, but we don't keep that transformation in our form. The reason is, Baba mentioned two things. One is there is lack of determination. And the second thing is, because the atmosphere is weak, so we tend to become slack, getting influenced by the atmosphere. So this is why it is very important to use that sanskara in action, so that you get the practical proof that that sanskara is working. You know, just like when we say, when we have the sanskara of getting angry or certain sanskara, whatever, when somebody asks you, they say, oh, this is my sanskara, don't worry. Actually, that is an alien. It is not mine. But we have made that as ours because we keep using it very often. You know, when you keep using something every now and then, finally you think it belongs to you. You know, just like people who stay in rented house, they are living there for a few years, and after some time they think they are owner for that place. When the owner will ask them to leave the place, they say, no, we won't leave it. We have been living here for 20 years. So same thing happens with us. You know, we have been using certain sanskaras over a period of time, and we have got ownership. And now when we want to let go of it, it doesn't go easily. Now we have to take ownership of the original sanskara, the eternal sanskara. You can take ownership only when you use it. This is what Baba meant by becoming the form. So unless I become the form, I will not have the confidence I have changed, and others cannot believe that I have changed. See, sometimes, you know, we sit in yoga bhattis and we have some good days and some powerful days. We feel that it has gone. But because we do not use it in action, it doesn't stay, that transformation doesn't stay constantly. So the second stage is very important before you enter into the third stage of metamorphosis. And I think Madhubani is a beautiful place for experiencing metamorphosis stage. Because you have a conducive atmosphere here. I sometimes call it like being an incubator. You know incubator? Before the eggs, it becomes a chicken, it is put in the incubator, the temperature is increased so that it can become faster. So metamorphosis is like being in an incubator. And Madhuban is, I think it is an accurate atmosphere where you can go inside that incubator and increase the temperature, that's all. It is like going into the womb of God and just stay there. That is your world. So then God will have full responsibility to take care of me, to make me into an angel. So first I take the ownership of emerging that sanskara, and then I surrender myself to it. Then God takes the responsibility to change me by giving His sustenance. So for both, whether it is transformation or whether it is the stage of metamorphosis, I need to have deep urge. You know, transformation cannot happen unless you really want to. So when I have the deep urge, this is the time and I will do it. Not I have to, but I will do it. If not now, I cannot do it at other time, then I go into that process. So I need to surrender, total surrender. And after I have surrendered, no interference. I need to have total faith it will happen. You can experiment. Today is what? 22nd, right? So we have 1 week, 10 days before Bap Dada comes. So each one of us can make our own plan how we want to get into this incubator, how we want to get into the womb of God and stay there and allow God to work on us. So what it means is that I just listen to God's versions. I will always have the vision that God has for me. I will listen to the comments that God pass about me. And I savor the taste of God's virtues. And I also savor the taste of the relationships, each relationship. So it will be a silent process. And this is what I think we have not given time to ourselves. When we talk to outside people, we always tell them, you must make time for yourself because you are the most important person in this life for yourself. But we forget to apply that for ourselves. So it is not selfish when we give time in this way. Actually, we show mercy on ourselves. No, that is why there is one slogan. When you give so much time to yourself, you will not have time left to have waste thoughts about others. But today I have waste thoughts because I have not done the work on myself. So my suggestion is that, first of all, let us complete the second stage, transformation through realization, by keeping determination, strong determination. So realization has to be individual. It cannot be collective. But of course, as Dadi Ratan Moini was saying yesterday, when we do collective effort individually, we get a lot of help. We may be doing our individual effort, but when we do it collectively like that, now as we are sitting together, we get help from each other, the vibrations. So maybe we can start from today if we have not done that homework. Going deep into ourselves, looking at what is that strong sanskara that I still keep as a, like a emergency exit, to use it when it is really necessary. So I need to really have that mercy to see myself deeply and bring it in front of Baba and surrender it to Baba. Because when I create that kind of fire of love for Baba, and when I bring so many attainments that Baba has given to me, in comparison to that, what is this? I don't want it. So from the heart, when I surrender it to Baba, Baba takes me in his lap. That is like moving from transformation into metamorphosis. I don't need to write the promise. I don't need to say anything. But I just need to realize and surrender it. And to keep that realization constantly, one yukti Baba has given us is to revise my realization every morning at Amrit Vela. Because if I don't realize my realization, I am not able to make it consistent. Because, we need to make it stronger. So once I revise my realization and I surrender it from my heart, then God takes the responsibility to make me an angel. So this time, before Bap Dada comes, so let us get into that stage, third stage of metamorphosis. Of course, Baba is offering us. He wants to work on us. He very much wants to work on us. But we are not allowing him the total freedom. See, like dadis, why Baba has made dadis equal to him? Because they surrendered, not only surrendered, but they sacrificed themselves to such an extent that they lost their identity. So this is what is important. Metamorphosis means sacrificing myself onto the light where my identity totally lost. Then I become God-like. The angels are not God, but they are God-like. So that is why when an angel you see and you see yourself, such a contrast. What angels look like, what I look like. I am in this body of elements and they are in the body of light. I am earth-bound, but they are flying. The reason is because they sacrificed unto God and they become God-like, totally light. So I need to recognize, for this I need recognition, not just faith in God. Faith in the intellect will help us to some extent to progress, but recognition from the heart will allow me to sacrifice myself onto that flame, so that light surrounds me. That is what is called being in the womb of God. Now, how do you enter into the womb of God? You sacrifice yourself onto God. So you become God-like, light, just like a moth. When it surrenders itself onto the flame, it becomes like flame. Its identity is lost. And I stay in that light for a period of time. See, this is why long meditation is necessary. Not like meditation in the form of saying hello, hello to Baba, Like some of us got used to that habit. Before meditation, we come 5 minutes and meditate and listen to the Murli and go. Just like for the sake of keeping relationship. No. I need to spend a little longer time diving deep into the ocean. That is what Baba was calling the stage as love lean. Merged in that love. Become one with Baba. I become totally blind to this world. Dadis have shared their experience, that how they used to practice. I remember Manohar Dadi sharing her experience. No, Baba used to take them after Murli for a walk and they used to sit on the mountains. They were given just one thought. And they were asked to sit there for hours, like 1 hour, 2 hours. Just merge, totally diving deep, becoming the embodiment. So we need to do that actually. We have time here to do it. Because nothing is pulling on us. You don't have to cook, you don't have to go to work, you don't have to worry about anything. So take the benefit to get into that incubator, get into that womb of God and enjoy God's sustenance. Just like a child is, connected with a mother, so whatever mother eats, that is the food of the child. Child doesn't have its own food. How a child grows in the womb. That is why the mother has to be very careful about what she eats and what she thinks, because everything will influence the child's growth. And so once we have surrendered into God's light, we don't have any worries, because God is responsible for me to look after me. So as a result of that period of silence, as a result of that truth, the nectar of knowledge, the truth that I am being sustained, I emerge as an angel with that body of double light, light and all around light. So that kind of transformation is possible when we allow that power of silence. Of course, power of silence does not mean that I suppress myself, I stop talking, and I try to suppress my mind. Not that way, but silence is combined with bliss. Because when I'm in the real experience of silence, it is blissful. That is why you do not fall asleep, you do not feel boring, you don't feel tired, because it is blissful silence. That is when I am being sustained by God's food. I am sustained by God's relationship. No, that is why we say God talks to us in silence. The more silent I become, the more I can listen to God. No, we tell other people what is the difference between meditation and prayer. We tell them meditation is listening to God, prayer is talking to God. But do you ever listen to God? God talking to you? But we don't, because we keep talking to Him all the time. We don't give Him a chance. Do you give Him a chance to talk to you? We always tell our stories and we are in conversation. But actually yoga is two-way, isn't it? So I have to be silent sometime so that He can talk to me also. So when I allow that conversation to happen, so that is also a form of sustenance. God talking to me in silence. I think that is why in Bhakti people say, God speaks without mouth, God listens without ears, God helps without hands. So how does He do that? It is the language of silence. So this is what I think we have to increase. We have to increase the volume of silence of the mind so that we can listen to God's voice louder. The more our volume of silence increases, we are able to listen to God's voice clearly. So it is a chance for us now, when we are here, to go through all the 3 stages of transformation. Because once I have surrendered and sacrificed, my identity is gone. So not only I realize it, but others can feel from me that you are not that anymore. Just like a caterpillar, when it becomes butterfly, nobody remembers a caterpillar. When you look at a beautiful butterfly, do you ever remember how it emerged? But you have to allow the time. You know, somebody was telling me the other day, there was a little boy who saw, the butterfly on a tree, but it was not fully opened. It was trying to come out of the cocoon. So he felt sorry for it. So he took a stick and pushed it out. But because it was not the right time, the butterfly could not come out of the cocoon. It was still wet. It fell down and died. So then he felt very sorry about what he did, because everything has its time. So if I want to do something faster, it is not possible. Sometimes we want things to happen faster, but everything has its time. So after surrendering, I need to have patience for God to do His work. So if I become impatient, I want to come out of the cocoon earlier. So then what will happen? Neither I will remain that, nor I will remain what I was before. So in this, I also need to understand, once I surrender myself, once I have sacrificed myself unto God, I must wait. And that patience comes because you have faith and recognition, whom you have surrendered to. And this is where some of us fail, because we think it's taking long time, nothing is happening. What is this? Oh, I think God has forgotten me, I must remind Him, or I must do something now. That is the time just before something was supposed to happen, and we have lost it. So this is where, when I have total faith and recognition, I will wait in patience. It will happen. I will emerge. I know where I am, who is working on me, so I won't interfere. I won't interfere in God's work. So try, experiment with yourself while you are here, what it means to be in an incubator, what it means to be in the womb of God, what it means to allow God to work on me. And then by the time you are about to leave from here, you would know that how you have been, inside that cocoon, and how God has prepared you to send you out from here as an angel. So it will not be just an intellectual understanding, but it becomes a practical experience that not only I feel, but others who come in contact with me are also able to experience. So is that clear for you now? What are the stages of transformation? First is change. Change is easy, as I said. It is reversible also. From bad you can become good. From good also you can become bad. But then once the transformation has happened, then it is easy to move on to the third stage of metamorphosis. So let us keep the aim to finish this cycle of change, finish the cycle of transformation, so that we give the proof of our love for Baba. Baba has given the proof of his love for me, and now it is my turn to allow God to work on me. So what I thought was, in the next half an hour meditation, we begin this process. We will begin to go into that incubator and allow us to remain there for the next few days and see what magic God can do for me and what I become from what I am. I may not be able to recognize myself too. So sometimes, others may not recognize, but when that transformation happens, I may be doing something, but without knowing how God's sustenance is working on me. So let it be that kind of miracle that we show to the world. So for the next half an hour meditation, we will begin that process. So my request is that if all of us can cooperate to remain seated for the next half an hour without moving here and there, so we can create that powerful atmosphere, and choose your position that you feel most comfortable for you. And I will try to help with some thoughts in the form of commentary, so that we all can experience individual incubators collectively. So are you ready? So let's go. emerges from deep within and fills my mind. My mind is like a calm lake. I enjoy these feelings of peace and calm. As I dive deeper into myself, I also experience love. I am a being of love. I love me. A feeling of total acceptance. In this awareness, I am totally inside, enjoying lightness. I, the being of light, I am feeling so light and weightless that I am floating like a beam of light beyond this body, moving upwards into the dimension of golden red light. I, the being of light, I am surrounded by the silence of this home of light. I absorb this silence. In this home of silence, I am drawn by a light like a magnet. I go closer and closer to that light. I touch the light of God. I am connected with the supreme light. God, the ocean of peace, fills me with His peace. I am swimming in the waves from the ocean of peace. I am swimming in the waves of ocean of peace. Baba, the ocean of love, showers me with His love. I am bathing with this shower of love from Baba. The Almighty Father empowers me with all His powers. I enter into the womb of God. Like a child in the womb of the mother, I am totally surrendered to God. I stay in the lap of my mother. And I am fed with this selfless love. I enjoy these feelings. I am being sustained with God's light, love, peace, and wisdom. I am in the womb of God. Nurtured in God's light.